Russian forces are said to have reached within 25 kilometers from Kiev city center. As the invasion of Ukraine entered its third week, Russian forces appeared to expand the offensive by striking new areas in the west, and President Vladimir Putin approved the recruitment of volunteer fighters from Syria and elsewhere. In two separate incidents, Russian rocket attacks destroyed an airfield in Vasilkiv in Kiev region, and a mosque housing 80 civilians was shelled in Mariupol, news agencies Reuters and AFP reported Saturday. This comes as British intelligence agencies warned Ukraine of the intensifying Russian offensive. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the war had reached a strategic turning point, as air raid sirens blared across most Ukrainian cities on Saturday morning, urging people to seek shelters. As Russia called for a Security Council meeting on the issue of biological laboratories in Ukraine, India said any matters relating to obligations under the Biological and Toxin Weapons Convention should be addressed through consultation and cooperation between the parties concerned. Meanwhile, 3 flights carrying 674 people, mostly students, evacuated from the conflict-ridden city of Sumy in northeastern Ukraine landed in New Delhi on Friday. Although there was no official word from the government about the completion of the evacuation process from Ukraine, these 3 flights from Poland's Rzeszów were considered among the last ones. Top Ukrainian advisor and an Israeli official on Saturday pushed back against a media report suggesting Israel tried to nudge Ukraine into caving to Russian demands during talks. Israel has been engaged in diplomatic efforts to try to end the war in Ukraine. Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett has held talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin and spoke by phone with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. A report carried by Israel's Walla News, the Jerusalem Post and U.S. news site Axios had suggested, citing an unidentified Ukrainian official, that Bennett had urged Ukraine to give in to Russia. Israel, just as other conditional intermediary countries, does not offer Ukraine to agree to any demands of the Russian Federation, Ukrainian advisor Mikhailo Podolyak said on Twitter. This is impossible for military and political reasons. On the contrary, Israel urges Russia to assess the events more adequately. Reuters 1529 East, the 12th of March 2022. Russia forces shell mosque in Mariupol. Russian forces have shelled a mosque in the southern Ukrainian port city of Mariupol, where more than 80 adults and children, including Turkish citizens, have taken refuge, Ukraine's foreign ministry said on Saturday. Ukraine has accused Russia of refusing to allow people out of Mariupol, where a blockade has left hundreds of thousands trapped. Russia blames Ukraine for the failure to evacuate people. The mosque of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent and his wife Roxolana Harem Sultan in Mariupol was shelled by Russian invaders, the foreign ministry said in a tweet. More than 80 adults and children are hiding there from the shelling, including citizens of Turkey.